Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the footwork and guard that a Muay Thai femur would like to use. Now, like always, I want to let people know that it's not exactly one size fits all. This is just what is common for a Muay Femur to use, and some of the words like saying a guard that a Muay Femur will use are not exactly exact, meaning that they will use different guards. They're not going to just use one guard, but these are the types of movements and footworks that a Muay Femur will use more likely. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like this video, share it, and without further ado, let's get started. If you have watched some of my other videos where I talk about the Muay Femur fight stance, make sure to watch that or rewatch it, because there I do talk a lot about how they would do their footwork and how they would attack and defend. But in this video, we're going to get more into detail. So let's take our fight stance. Usually, the Muay Femur style is very evasive. So there's a lot of head movement, even though in Muay Thai, there isn't like a whole bunch of head movement, but there's a lot of pullbacks from Muay Femur. So two footworks that you really do need to know is how to bait and how to pull back. One of the baits is easy, taking a front step with your lead leg, step and then come back out, step and then come back out. What is that going to help you do? It's going to help you bait your opponent, because I get into their danger bubble. For example, they have a distance where as soon as you get into that distance, your opponent is going to be ready to attack. So I get into the danger bubble and then I come back out. So it's going to allow me to bait the opponent to attack, and then from there I can counter attack, right? A Muay Femur really relies on counters, really relies on that bait. And then lastly, for the footwork with your back leg is going to be pulling back, right? If I can pull back and slip, if I can pull back and cross, pull back and slip a kick and counter, that's gonna help me combine it with that bait, combine with the footwork coming in and the footwork coming back out. So always nice and light on the feet when it comes to a femur, right? But remember, you always wanna be solid and also light. So you wanna be quick, but sometimes if you're against the ropes or if there's a kick coming, you want to be nice and solid where you're not falling over or anything like that. Another of the favorite techniques of a Muay Femur is foot sweeps. They love just sweeping in general. So you'll be catching a lot of techniques, a lot of kicks, sweeping your opponent, right? A lot of foot sweeps, throwing some punches out there when the opponent comes in with punches or tries to clinch, doing your foot sweep and then clinching them up, or doing a foot sweep and doing a kick to the head, going off that foot sweep, going off, playing with the opponent's balance, all right? So a lot of the Muay Thai Femurs techniques or strategies goes off the baits, goes off being evasive, but also goes off playing with the opponent's balance. If they can get them off balance and make them look silly, they're gonna look great. And a Muay Femur is a performer. They slip, they move, they're evasive, they are very beautiful the way that they fight, and they have a high IQ. And if the opponent doesn't have a good ability to have good balance, and I can play with the opponent's balance, that's gonna help me fight better, and it's gonna help me look better in front of the judges. Next, the circle footwork, the circle shuffle footwork. Sometimes I can be fighting here, and then I can circle away, make some distance to again, bait the opponent, because I make distance. Now the opponent wants to walk, right? Wants to walk towards me, wants to get towards me. As soon as they come in, I can counter, right? So that circle footwork to kind of just get out of the corners, to be a little bit more evasive, to kind of reset the distance. It's another footwork that is very important for all fighters, but especially if you want to be a Muay Femur. One footwork that is very confusing to people when it comes to a Muay Femur is that sometimes they'll play with the footwork, right? They might do a little bit of a shuffle. They might even just walk away, right? They're here, they're fighting, and then they just walk away. And then that it kind of confuses the opponent, because it's not something that is very common. It's not something that, in a way, it allows the opponent to come in, and that becomes a bait, right? Because they're like, wow, they lowered their guard. Wow, they're not as solid. And then when the opponent comes in or even stutters for a second, then that allows the Muay Femur to strike, allows them to score their points, right? So some of the two footworks that in a way are different and that you can use, but I don't want you to overuse them. Even if you're Muay Femur, just don't overuse them, because sometimes if you're too fancy all the time, remember it does carry a risk, because to bait an opponent, you need to kind of put something out there to bait. And if you're constantly putting out there something to bait and then you're not able to capitalize on it, well, the person can hurt you. So one of them will be, again, the shuffle footwork, and the other one will be, in a way, kind of just walking away, right? I'm here, I walk away with good distance, right? I can't just walk away where the opponent is too close to me, because right now my guard is down. I don't have good base to fight, and in a way, I'm giving my back to my opponent. So if I'm walking away, I want to make sure that I have a good amount of distance. Like maybe I'll do a teep, I'll do a sliding teep, I push my opponent very far away, and then I'll walk. I'll walk and then allow them to kind of come in to see that bait. So again, very important when it comes to using these fancy footworks like the shuffle and the walk away, to have that distance and to be just ready for any attack to counter, and not to use them too much, because again, it's going to put you in a very risky position if you're using it too much. As far as the guard is going to be something that's going to be moving all the time, but for a Muay Femur, the guard is usually evasive. A lot of it is pullbacks, a lot of it is even just clinching them up, wrapping them up, using an angle and then getting out, right? Those are two of the things that a Muay Femur loves to do, is to wrap people up, get out on the outside, and again start doing their baiting game. Or they like to be very evasive, a lot of, in a way, head movement, but mostly going backwards, not too much to the side. Some fighters will do that, but remember, in Muay Thai we have elbows, we have kicks, we have knees, so not too much evasiveness to the side. But the guard should still be up, meaning like, even though you're being evasive, you still need to shield, you still need to use your long guard for elbows, against elbows. It's not like you want to have too much head movement, especially in Muay Thai, because they will catch you. So even if you're in Muay Femur, you still need to be able to use all your guards. You need to be able to block your punches, block your body, block those kicks, especially catch the kicks. They love to do catches and they love to sweep people, right? So if you want to be a Muay Femur, you need to learn how to catch and sweep people off balance. And if you're fighting a Muay Femur, you also need to learn how to catch to stop them from moving so much, and be aware of their catches, right? They're gonna try to catch your kicks, try to slip the kicks sometimes, and then counter off that. In a nutshell, that is a Muay Femur's guard and a Muay Femur's footwork. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you learn a little bit more about the Muay Femur style, if you want to incorporate it into your fight style, or if you're fighting somebody that uses this fight style. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like this video, share this video, and see you guys next time.